Before we start the holiday special, we want to share a great community effort that took place over the past couple of weeks to help those who need it during the holiday season. The Bridgewater Elder Affairs Commission, in conjunction with the Bridgewater Disability Commission and Literacy Place, teamed up for Christmas visits and presents at the Bridgewater Nursing Home and the Housing Authority. There are about a dozen volunteers at the Senior Center assembling the bags to bring the holiday cheer to others here in Bridgewater. Our thanks to Emily Williams, the Senior Center Director, for sending us the photos, and coming up next is the Bridgewater Now Holiday Special.
Welcome to our Bridgewater Now Holiday Special. I'm Mary Evers.
And I'm John Luck. Great to be back here in the studio here for our holiday special. I did try and be Santa John last year. I got demoted back to head elf. So
because I'm the head Santa here.
Sure. Anyways, one of the popular things that come with the holiday season is the Christmas parade, and the guests of honor getting a ride into the common thanks to the Bridgewater Fire Department. Right now we have the Christmas parade for you in its entirety.
With Santa and Mrs. C in their familiar spot, the return of Christmas on the Common took place on December 5th. The event is put together by the Bridgewater Business Association, which helped out the community with its BBA Assistance Fund, which helps to provide heat and electricity to residents in need, plus other ways to help during the holiday season. Since 2005, the BBA has given back over $100,000. For residents and visitors to the town, there was plenty of fun and items for sale from local vendors with everything from reindeer food to art. Here are some of the highlights from this year's event.
Well, if you were in the Common for the event, you probably saw Polar Express, Santa's Workshop, the elves, besides myself, angels, and much more. Those decorations were actually set up, as they always are, by members of the Bridgewater Lions Club. We had a camera in the Common during the setup, and I had a chance to talk to some of the members who are looking for volunteers to continue this holiday tradition. With each swing of a mallet and bolt installed, a local tradition gets put together. Members of the Bridgewater Lions Club spent part of their Thanksgiving weekend putting into place familiar decorations from Santa's Workshop to the children's favorite Polar Express. These have become a staple here in the community during the holiday season, in some cases for nearly 50 years.
We have a committee headed by Don Swass. Don seems to make it vibrant every year. The train came from the prison back probably in the 60s. We've been painting it and, replacing the wheels and trying to make it, easy for the kids to come down. They climb on it and they seem to have a ball with it.
This was my 40th year of doing this. When we first got the job of putting this up, we had it for a couple of years, and we slowly but surely replaced all the archways and everything. They were all full of staples and nails. We got rid of all those.
Before the Common had the festive setup that many residents are used to driving by, there was a time when the Lions decorated right in front of the Academy building.
There was a time when we put a big platform over the fountain up there. We built a manger, and we had ornaments that went in there for the manger. And over the years, that deteriorated, and that all changed.
As is the case with many groups in 2021, there is a need for new bodies. On the day our camera was in the Common, there were 7 people installing the decorations, and as the years go by, the need for new helpers continues to increase. But the Lions members we talked to said this is a tradition they would love to continue, as it brings a special local touch during the holiday season.
You don't want to lose Christmas. I mean, this is kind of an important thing, not just for the season, but also for the people in the community that come through the center of town and see what's going on here. It really adds something to our town, and we need to maintain that. And we need people to get involved. Some years we've had students from the school. Some year we've had kids from the college. There's a lot of things going on today in everybody's life, so you don't know what the impact is for everybody. The majority of the stuff that you see here, Don has either made it or painted it. We had a member, Lenny Wood. He was a member, and Donnie worked with him for years, and he was here before Donnie. And unfortunately, he passed away, and that's what happens. We get old, we leave, we need somebody to take our place.
All of you young people out there who love Christmas and love lights, because I see lots of lights in town, come on down. And you can come to the Bridgewater Lions Club, where we meet on the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month at the Polish Club. And you can make it your project, You bring the holiday cheer, and there's lots and lots of satisfaction. But we need some muscle. We really do need muscle.
There is a sense of pride having everything set up in the common, pride they hope to continue to have with the next generation of residents.
If you come by here when they have the decorations on the common, and they have the Santa Claus and the business associations over here, and a lot of townspeople are here, and a lot of kids are here, they're climbing in and out of everything. They can appreciate it.
So again, a time-honored tradition as everybody comes into the common from the Bridgewater Lions Club, hopefully some volunteers in the future, lifting some of the heavy trains, the church, the angels. So certainly a learning experience. I got to find out when I actually was there filming the story, but myself, Jeff Fowler, Paul Holmes, all helped with the setup and the lights, found out how to hang lights through a tree. That was really fun.
You guys did a good job, and what's a Bridgewater event without Jeff Fowler helping out?
The honorary mayor, if you will.
The honorary mayor, yeah.
Not the real one. I don't want to get into those great lines.
Right, no.
Anyways.
Last month, Crispy's Italian Cuisine held a can drive to collect food for the Bridgewater Food Pantry as we entered the holiday season. To add incentive to the town's members to drop by with some non-perishables, the Grinch and Cindy Lou Who were there to greet them. I spoke with Laura Falconeri at the event.
Hi, this is Laura Falconeri from Crispy's Restaurant in Bridgewater. We are collecting food for the Central Square Church Food Pantry, or the Bridgewater Food Pantry. Cans, boxes, bags, fresh fruit, eggs, milk, butter, cheese for their Thanksgiving baskets and other things.
The Grinch wasn't here in our studios, despite what some people may say about my feeling on Christmas decorations. However, we had a number of residents from the community come inside and in some cases see the studio for the first time ever. Our building was the site for the Bridgewater Gardens Club's annual green sale, and while there were plenty of people finding that perfect holiday decor, we had access to see how everything came together and in some cases the finished project.
Garden Club does great things. They weren't able to do this last year, so I'm glad to see that they're able to get it back in full swing this year, particularly because they give out some good scholarships to some deserving students.
Thanks to Emily and Travis from the Bridgewater Rainham Regional High School who came by and helped get some of the photos and videos that you saw in that package. And we here at BTV would like to thank the Garden Club for making our studio festive from the outside to right here on our holiday set, from our very decorated Christmas tree here to
some plants.
Santa-inspired plant.
I know, it was like we got here one morning and the place was just decked out. It was like Santa himself came.
Or maybe the elves.
Or maybe, yeah, it was the elves.
Not the elves. I can't do anything.
I did not know
plant-wise.
Santa's elves were in the Garden Club.
You never know.
The more you know. Earlier we showed you some of the highlights from Christmas on the Common, which had a great turnout. Many of those who were in attendance wanted to talk to one person in particular.
Me?
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
Well, it turns out that I was one of those people that wanted to talk to that person and his wife as well, as I talked to Mr. and Mrs. Claus for this world exclusive as I asked him some of those hard-hitting questions. Happy to be joined once again here in Bridgewater by Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Thank you very much for coming back to Bridgewater. And Santa, I have to ask you, unfortunately we weren't here last year. I saw a lot of kids here making up for lost time here in Bridgewater.
We had a lot of children today, and they all said that they were very good this year. And you know, Santa loves kids that are very good.
That's very true. And I have to ask you, some of the things that have been requested on people's wish list. I heard a camera from a couple of kids. What are some of the things you've heard from some of the children here in town?
Well, most of the kids seem to want dinosaurs. A lot of dinosaurs this year. But you know what? Right at the end, towards the end, two children actually, little girls, they just wanted everybody to be happy at Christmas, and it made me happy to hear that.
We definitely need that here this year. And finally, I have to ask you the big question for the kids who are watching who want to know what type of cookies to leave out. Are you a little particular about your cookies? Chocolate chip, oatmeal raisin?
Mrs. Claus has been baking me chocolate chip cookies, but with coffee chips. And I'll tell you, those are my favorites. Coffee chipped cookies.
Well, Mrs. Claus,
Keeps me awake.
you'll have to give us the recipe. Best of luck on your flight coming up on Christmas Eve, Santa.
Well, thank you very much. Mrs. Claus?
Merry Christmas to everybody. Let there be peace and joy all throughout the year.
So we heard Santa's cookie choices. What are some of your top cookie choices?
I like sugar cookies. My mom makes some really good ones this time of year. They're always very warm, very soft. It's great. They're amazing.
Nothing beats cookies during the holiday season,
True.
but I like the
True.
cookies that come in the tin with the little papers.
Right.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Classic.
But nothing beats a fresh peanut butter cookie coming out of the oven. Oh.
Yeah. No, I
Sometimes
want cookies.
Sometimes you can get a cookie, eat it by the fire. Just saying.
At the end of each year, we have a couple of trivia contests, one for the year in review and one for the holiday special. For many of these may be easy questions, but for the guys here at the studio, turns out usually into a Christmas catastrophe.
We try.
With that said, here's the holiday trivia contest. Welcome into BTV's 4th annual Christmas trivia. As usual, I have Jeff, John, and Brian here to answer some Christmas trivia questions. Haven't even asked a question yet, but thank you. I'm glad you're prepared, Jeff. I appreciate that.
Practice.
All right, we're going to get into this right away with the first question. What does the word Noel mean in Latin? A, Christ, B, birth, C, nativity, or D, mass?
Mask?
Mass, like you go to mass, not mask.
What state do we live in?
Right, exactly. Jeff and Brian are correct. It's B, birth.
Take that, John.
I pay attention when I go to Last Light.
Oh, is that what it is?
And
All right.
after the first birth, the angels did sing. I mean, it's literally in the song.
That's fair. Second question. What decade did Coca-Cola start using Santa Claus in its ads?
All of them.
1910. No, when did it first start?
Does Coca-Cola have a recall? I just heard about that.
Anyways, A, the 1900s, B, the 1910s, C, the 1920s, or D, the 1930s. You're all wrong. The answer is C, the 1920s.
Oh,
All right, we're
Oh my
all,
God.
That's not what you put up. You had D up there a second ago.
we're all awful at trivia.
All right, the next question is, what state holds the Guinness Book of World Records record for the tallest ever built snowman at 112 feet? Is it A, Vermont, B, Michigan, C, Minnesota, or D, Maine? I can't see that, Brian. C, okay. You're all incorrect. The answer is D, Maine.
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 Oh my goodness.
I mean, I
You
guess
guys are
that
not
makes
good
sense. They got the
logic.
tallest shoes, so it goes right there.
All right, next question. What country did the song Silent Night originate in? A, Austria, B, Germany, C, Italy, or D, England? John is correct. It's Austria.
Ah.
A for Austria.
Wow.
You knew it had to be Austria or Germany, right? Had to be.
Still knocked, yes.
When you started saying Austria, I thought you were going to say Austin, as in Austin, Texas. I said this is
Sorry.
a trick question.
Austin 316.
All right, we've got one more question, unless we need the tiebreaker.
Oh God.
Well, you're all tied at 1 point currently with one question left.
No one's getting shut out tonight, baby.
We're awful at this.
What decade did NORAD start tracking Santa Claus? A, the 1930s, B, the 1950s, C, the 1970s, or D, the 1990s?
Jeff, when did radar become a thing?
I was gonna say, I probably should know this.
You probably should.
I think
know
it's
this.
A, but I'm gonna go B.
Jeff and John are correct. It was
Oh!
All right.
Oh.
Ryan and trivia don't mix.
B. Ryan has
that's
been
right,
eliminated
because
earlier.
radar came in late 30s, and then it took them a little while to decide.
It was right after the end of World War II that they started using it for
That's right.
practices that didn't have to do with war.
Look, I'm just saying, I've won 2 trivias in a row. It was about time I let one of y'all win, you know?
That's
so I
true.
just did that as a favor.
True.
I knew
All
it
right.
was B, but like I felt bad, so I wrote D.
Sure. All right, so
Charlotte
we're going to
said
move
it.
on to the bonus question, the tie-breaking question.
I would like to wager my 1 point for this.
You want to participate, Brian?
I think he's going all in.
Okay, so the last question's not a multiple choice, so I'm gonna have you write it out, and I don't want you to show your paper until I tell you to. Okay, Jeff?
Can we just use letters from all the pages to spell out our answer?
No, you have to write it down.
CBA.
Are you ready for the question?
Ready.
Okay. What Christian group banned Christmas in Boston from 1659 to 1681?
Oh,
The tiebreaker had. Do you want me to read it again, John?
yeah, I don't know the answer, but what?
Yeah.
What Christian group banned Christmas in Boston from 1659 to 1681? Take a guess, John.
Okay.
Do I put my thing up?
Not yet. Let's wait for John to try to make a fool out of himself.
Okay.
Do you know what it is, Brian?
No.
No. Well, there you go.
We're gonna learn all together here.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
Now both of you show me your answers.
Hmm.
Jeff is correct. It was the Puritans.
I went with all of them.
Elves
Well-
Anonymous isn't right.
That's
Paid
not a
attention in school. See that?
I didn't realize that Elves Anonymous was a Christian group. Well, congratulations, Jeff. For the first time, you've actually won trivia, and you don't have to just pretend to have won it.
I thought I wouldn't let y'all win this year.
It's about time, really. I'm happy for you, Jeff.
When it comes to Christmas movies, there are some pretty recognizable houses, whether it's because there's a billion lights on it or a kid outsmarts 2 bandits. Most of the time, if you drive by, you'd probably know what movie it actually came from.
The website Livability spotted these houses, starting with the home featured in It's a Wonderful Life. In California, this home doesn't offer tours, but you can most likely see it from the street. This was one of the many structures built in the 1940s for filming, but the ranch it was on was sold.
So I've actually seen that movie, very surprising. Another movie I've seen is actually my favorite one, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and you may remember the boss in the movie, Frank Shirley, was kidnapped by Cousin Eddie, I think my favorite character in the movie, but it turns out the house that Mr. Shirley lived in was actually the same house used in the filming of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. In Winnetka, Illinois, you could book a one-night stay to stay in the McAllister's house, obviously from the Home Alone movies. And for 1 week, it was available for an Airbnb. Not sure if there were any blowtorches or paint cans, but I'm guessing there probably was a copy of Angels with Dirty Faces. Probably where that line, keep the change, you filthy animal, came from. So just want to get that out there.
Yep. Our final stop on the holiday house tour takes us to Cleveland, Ohio. Located at 3159 West 11th Street is a house used in A Christmas Story, my least favorite Christmas movie.
Really?
Yep, don't like it. Probably because my mother watches it nonstop on Christmas Eve.
It's a Turner classic.
Sure it is, but it's too overplayed. Tours are available, and much like the Home Alone house, you can rent this one out with a starting rate at $395 or rent it on Christmas Eve for the low cost of $1,995.
I got a few questions here.
All right, ask them.
All right, one, does the furnace actually work? Because I remember the dad was swearing like a sailor.
True, I don't know.
Okay, so that's the first one. Second one, is there an official Red Ryder BB gun in the house?
Probably not. But there's probably almost definitely a leg lamp.
I mean, much like your mom, my mom's favorite movie for the holiday season is A Christmas Story.
Yes.
We actually have a leg lamp that we used to put up right in our window.
Right.
So between that, we have a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. If it's on TV in the holiday season, odds are you'll probably find it in my house.
And somehow you're still a downer about Christmas decorations.
I'm a downer. That's why I set up decorations in the common and hung tree lights. But, whatever. Thank you for watching this holiday special. We hope you join us coming up in the next few days for our year in review special on BTV and on our social media sites as well. But for now, I'm John Luck.
And I'm Mary Evers. Have a good holiday.